Hey, what's going on, everybody? Brian again here with you, bringing to the table a couple of Artisan cutleries. We've got the Archaeo, I believe is how it's pronounced. Artisan cutlery packaging, pretty standard, fair box. They do come in a little felt baggie. Pretty cool little stuff, but I did pick these up secondhand in a trade. But they're new in box. They hadn't been carried or anything like that. So this is just a complete overview. I picked these up again, like I said, in a trade because my wife really liked the little guy here, and so the guy had the large one to match. So she wanted us to have matching knives. So I went ahead and took her up on that and got that one. So we're gonna set the mini off to the side for right now. I'm going to take a look at the normal Archaeo. So just bringing it in here. Do love the purple and black G10. Such a good looking color combo. I'm a huge fan of purple and black. And blue and black, honestly, too. Blue and black's my favorite, but you do have this pop of color with the pivot collar. Get on both sides. We'll go into some of the specs here. Take a look at the blade first. Do have the Artisan Cutlery logo on the pivot and then right here on the blade. D2 steel. Dylan Mallory is your designer here. One of my favorite parts about this knife, if I can get it to focus, is just how needle-like that tip is. This thing will just absolutely eat through packages. I had a brass model several years ago that I sold to a friend of mine, and the couple of times I carried it were right around Christmas, and it just absolutely tore through anything that had a plastic clamshell around it. So you can reverse flick this guy. And for me, the thumb open is a little odd, but reverse flicking is fairly easy. And on the close there, you can kind of see the first, kind of the first gripe I have with the knife. The detent is a little late there, so it doesn't, it hits the flipper hits my thumb on close, so you kind of have to push past that with your finger. But once you're past the detent, the action, it does kind of come down, almost drop shut for you. Other than that, the detent on open is pretty close to perfect. It's a little heavier than most, but it allows it for a 4-inch blade to come out pretty well. And it is right at 4 inches. It's like 3.8 or 3.9 inches. Closest makes no difference. Weight is right at 4 ounces again. So it does kind of hit that 1 ounce per inch kind of benchmark. So second thing that I just absolutely can't stand, I left it on for the video purposes, but this filler tab. Kudos to them for making a lefty friendly knife. I'm left-handed, so I get it. Although I grew up without left-handed knives, so I've never converted. The only knives I have that are ambidextrous that I have flipped to left-handed are my OTFs, just because I'm better at opening a knife with my right hand. But this filler tab was executed so poorly. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm not 100% if this is factory or not. Again, I did get this knife secondhand. I can't find out if they have one on it or not, but I'm going to pull that flipper tab or that filler tab off, because you could at least use a flat screw, and the tab itself does not even remotely sit flush. It's got so many rough edges around it. But again, that would be my only real criticism on it. other than the late detent, just making it not to where you can drop shut the blade. Other than that, it seems like it'd be a pretty decent knife. Again, it's probably not something that would catch a lot of pocket time for me. The blade shape's not something that I use on a regular basis. Most of my knives that I carry are more of a Warncliffe or sheep's foot blade. There are some exceptions, but those knives have more of a special place in my heart. So we'll go ahead and slide this one off. Take a look at the Mini. Again, you do have your reversible pocket clip. This one does not have a filler tab, but the pocket clip hole is also different. So the pocket clips are not the same. I'm sorry, I wasn't even on frame there. Damn. So your pocket clips are not the same. The small one has a smaller pocket clip, as well it should, but the filler, or the places on the pocket clips, are different. So this pocket clip has more of like a, I don't know, almost a coffin shape to it. So it's squared off up here, but then it has a kind of an oval roundness to it. So I don't know if that's why it doesn't have one or not, but great detent. It is a little stronger on the Mini, which it kind of suits it because it allows it to really shoot that blade out there. Same great aesthetics, same just crazy needle-like tip. But if you're keen, you've probably already noticed the issue with this knife, and that is lock bar access. The lock bar access on this thing looks fine. It looks like it wouldn't be a problem. That's what I thought too. But my big old fat thumb, it is all I can do to get in there. I have to really be paying attention to what I'm doing to get in there, because the lock bar is so strong that it's not easily pushed aside. So you have to get more meat on it to get it to move. So outside of that, this one is really great. My wife loves it. She does have some issues with the lock bar as well, but we're going to correct that. I'm going to take it apart and go in and just kind of cut this down just a hair. I'm going to start by just meeting it to the liner underneath, and then if it needs more, then I'll just down cut the liner as well. But all I'm going to do is just open up that radius a little bit more. Maybe even get rid of this finger notch here and just open that up a lot more there. That'll allow for a little more access. But outside of that, again, it is a really nice knife. On this one, your blade length is right at 3 inches. I think it's just over 3 inches. And then if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's like 2.5, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It's right at 2.5 ounces. So this one's actually less, less weight per inch, which makes it more ideal for carrying, but a little on the small side for me. It's a little harder for me to access everything. Again, that's kind of another reason why I doubt I'll carry this one that much. It's just not the best feeling knife for me. That being said, not everything's for me. Outside of just the lock bar access and the detent on the large one, nothing there is, would prevent me from keeping the knife. Nothing would really prevent me from carrying it, other than just, like I said, I have so many other knives that compete for my pocket space every day. But I'll do a follow-up video on both of them, the way you can see that one without the filler plate on it. And then the small one, we'll do a backup or secondary video where I take care of that. Which actually, you know what? Heck with it. What do we got here? T6s. Let's just get rid of this filler plate. That's definitely from the factory. That was on there way too tight to not be factory. That's an easy enough fix. And now the knife does. It's kind of funny how much better that makes it feel whenever you're taking the lock apart, or unlocking the knife and closing the knife, because you don't have that screw kind of rubbing into your hand right here. It helps with the lines of the knife as well. Personally, I'd rather see the cutout than an ill-fitted filler tab. But alright guys, well again, I really appreciate you guys watching the videos, subscribing and liking. Hopefully you've been able to pick up that I have some new lighting. I have a better tripod set up. No more wiggle anytime I touch the table. The camera is actually now solid. I can do things here. I've just got to make sure I don't hit the camera. But I should be able to do some more videos coming soon. I've got here, I'll do a little foreshadowing. I've got a knife that was given to me by my boss, who he found in his field. One side is pretty crusty. The other side looks, I mean, it's still crusty, but looks fairly new. Get it to focus in there. But it is an old timer. I can get to where I can see the Schrade emblem, but I can't see how old it is to see if it's an actual U.S. Schrade or if it's after they went to China. But either way, it's a cool little knife. I'll get it cleaned up. I've got some other stuff coming soon. Oh, here I am talking about being steady, and I smacked the camera. I've got some other things coming soon, so just keep your eyes out, and we will see you guys next time. As always, I hope you have a nice day, and we'll talk at you later.